Howdy, everybody. It is a new day. On the last video you saw it was supper time, so I went in, and when I came back out it was dark. So all we did is put the animals away. Anyhow, we got a little further along our nest boxes. I've done some stuff on the inside just to kind of frame around it. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so like I said, all we really did is just do the framing across the top here, across the bottom. Got the plywood screwed down in. That's just gonna make it so that when I put that piece of OSB over the top, I can trace along from the outside and then cut the hole out, and then they'll have a nice, clean, smooth area to get in. There won't be any weight that's gonna deform this plywood over time and such. And we can just screw it all in real nice. Should last pretty long. So out here it hasn't changed a whole lot. These are just sitting here. I'm gonna put some 2x4s across here, and then we'll put these ones, these center sections, they'll stand up like that. And then we'll put a face on it, and then a door that will stick out past. It'll probably come out maybe an inch or two so that the water drips on the outside. And we'll put some hinges across the back. And then I'll probably use some more of that old fire hose that I have too, just to kind of weatherproof that crack. But anyway, I'll put you up on the tripod and we'll get going. Okay, these should be 22.5. Oh, wait, sorry. They're nailed on the outside edges of those. So we've got one at 22.5 and one at 19.25. Okay, and then I know another one at 22.75 for one of the bird blocks that I keep forgetting. All right, be right back. Good grief. Note to self, if you try and stand on stacked lumber and then lean, that's a bad way of going. Not a huge fan of toenailing things in, but the only other option is I guess I could have come in from the inside on this side of that 2x4, but too late. Okay, I know a lot of that isn't the best angle for you guys to see what I'm doing, but the sun is just about to come over the top of this roof. See what? Oh, I'm blind. Oh, now I can see. But now as I'm looking at the camera, it's in the sun, so hopefully you can see any of this. If not, I'll edit it out and oops. Anyway, so I think the next thing to do is probably, before I get any more in my way, let's get the inside OSB piece cut. We'll trace out the opening and we'll get that taken care of. It'll be done, out of the way, and that'll open up a lot of room inside the chicken coop, because right now it's basically cut in half. So I'll take a measurement, I'll get that cut, throw it up in there, trace it out, get that cut. Yeah, let's get after it. Okay, so we got that cut for height across the top here, cut down the side, and it, not the greatest fit in the world because not all of these walls are dead plumb. Again, that's because of the posts that were in concrete, and they were pressure treated, or well, are pressure treated. So they gave us a little bit of a fit. But now we'll just come around here. We'll put the lines on the outside and we'll pull that back out and cut it. Let me get that done and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, so basically I'm just simply tracing around the edge. Not pushing too hard though, because that's just resting against it on the inside. So just barely pushing on it, but making lots of marks. Trying to get it to go darker. I'm not going to do lines on this side because I just don't really see the point in trying to leave that little strip there. So I'll just cut it out. It'll go all the way across. All right, now we'll pull it back out. Now I'll sand it a little bit. Yeehaw! Now we'll put it back in. It's easier with a handle. Ta-da! Looks like I need to sand it a little bit more right there, but we can do that after it's screwed in. Anyway, we'll put a couple screws in real quick just to hold it in place. Yeah, I'll be right in. And again, it's time to eat. I'll meet you back here. Okay, so lunch is over. And I got the rest of that all screwed in. Got these these three are set in place. These two are just, they're tight. So they're just kind of into the place. I'm gonna have to cut some kind of trim that'll go on both sides. And then we'll glue it and nail it down. So I'll have to get like a big old long extension cord and get my air compressor out here and all that happiness. But for now, I'm cutting this 16 46.5 out of this piece of plywood right here. And we'll get that part up. And then Liddell wants it to where the lid is what opens, not the back. I kind of wanted to do the back. That way you could drop it down and then just clean everything out this way. But she wanted to do it to where when you lift the lid, the chickens couldn't just scoot out the thing and then you gotta chase them all down. So that makes sense. I can see the advantages of both ways, but we're gonna make Mama happy on this one because that's what she asked for. And I'm okay with that. So anyway, I'll get that cut and then I'm not entirely sure if the probably 6 degrees of angle right here is enough to let water shed off. I mean, I know it will. The question is how much. So that's why I was thinking about doing that chunk of fire hose along there. Jeez Louise, flies are landing on me. anyway, just to kind of seal that off, because it is fairly flat and there's a roof above it, but if the rain comes in this way, I don't know, I'm probably overthinking it. But anyhow, that's the question there. If it comes down to it, I could probably add something to the outside of this to put a little extra triangle on it and then just move those hinges up. So I might actually make this, I think this is 48 inches. Yeah, it's 48 inches. So sorry, I had to just cut the audio out here. The wind was absolutely unbearable. What I'm trying to explain is I could make the face that I'm about to cut a little bit wider so that I could add a piece of plywood on each end. I keep kind of going back and forth, and I think I might even say that I'm overthinking it, but that's what's going through my mind. Are stationary, and then we'll worry about the roof after that. So, see how this works when I'm making things up as I go along? I change my mind in the middle of a sentence, and now it's video documented. If I do add a little something on the outside edge to where it goes off of this, covers this 2x4 that you can currently see from the outside, I would want to make that another 1/2 inch wider. So instead of 46 3/8, it'd be 7/8, 1/2 inch. 4 3 is 7/8. Yeah. All right. So 46 7/8 it is. Let's hurry up and get this done before I change my mind again. Good grief. That'll get it positioned for us. At 5/8 of an inch worth of plywood to hit. Nailed it right in the middle. Or screwed it, depending on how you want to say it. We'll get those pieces of trim cut, knock those down in there, and then we'll get the lid put on. Then it's time to paint this thing again. Anyway, let's go cut some trim pieces. Okay, so now I've got 2 chunks of this. I didn't measure the 2x4, I just grabbed a scrap 2x4 and went ahead and whittled these things off of there. But I need 1 on each side of both of those, and I'm going to guess, if I'm lucky, one of these will do both sides of both of those, but I also need to go up the back side. So what I'm going to do is set this back up to 90 and then run this off again, and that should give us enough. If not, then we'll find another scrap and I'll have to crank this thing back over. I think the fence was quite square on that one, but whatever. Now we got a little piece of lath too. Alright, so we'll take these down there. We should be able to cut them to the right length. Because that thing is at a little bit of a slope, I'm not going to actually be 90s, it'll be a little bit more than that. I think it's 5 degrees, so it would be 50. Well, sorry, 85 instead of 90, and then half of that. My brain hurts. Anyway, we'll get it somewhat close. And again, the chickens won't care. If this was some kind of like cabinetry or like a drawer or something like that for Liddell on the kitchen or something, I would take the time to figure it all out and get it just so with scrap pieces so that when I put it together it looked like I actually knew what I was doing. But for the chickens, I don't really think it cares, and I don't want to spend that much time on it. So we're going to get it close, and then it's going to get covered up with hay and chicken crap anyway. So it is what it is. See you down there. Okay, so basically I took one of these sticks and I just set it in there and scribed a line clear up here just so that it wasn't sticking into the chicken coop. Cut the line off. What I did is I took it and lined it up on this pivot point right here, and then I came up the inch that we did when I cut off everything else and scribed the 45 mark, so making that like probably a 50 degree or maybe a 40. I think it would be 40. Anyway, I just thought I'd try it. Turned that thing around, dropping everything. So when I cut it off, then I just turned it around and stuck it in there, and boom. That's a pretty good fit to me. It's not absolutely perfect. Like, I mean, you couldn't line up wood grain or anything like that, but it's plenty good for what it's doing. I think what I'm going to do is, instead of getting the brad nailer down here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and screw up through the bottom of this into here, and then through here into there on one half, and then I'll put some glue on the other side and then squish it in, or probably put glue on this side, squish it in, screw it down, squish it in, screw it down. So I need to cut this side and then go get some glue and we'll get after it. The camera's kind of precariously propped up against the side of the chicken coop, so if I move it, I don't know that I can get it back into the same area. But I'm going to get this other one cut real quick and we'll go from there. I'll meet you right back here. Okay, got my handy Gorilla Glue. What I'm going to do is drill a small hole in here so that I can run the screws up and through, but where it's the thickest on this trim, so I'm hoping to be kind of going like that with the screw. Nothing's poking up out of there, so that's a good thing. Now we'll put glue on this side. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on all sides of this. Now, see if I can show you better. All right, so there's the one side. Sorry, the sun is really making it difficult. And there's the other. Now I'm probably still gonna run caulk along the edges. I may not, I don't know. I gotta think about that, because the chickens might pick at the caulk if it starts to peel up at all, and that's probably not something that I want them eating. So maybe I'll just dribble a whole bunch of paint in there. Let the paint seal it up. Anyway, we'll have to do that one too. This one I'm not gonna worry about because it's 5/8 of an inch thick and it's got screws coming in from the outside. So anyway, and it's screwed in here and here. So anyhow, there's our chicken boxes, or nesting boxes, I guess is what they're really called. Yeah, let's get this done. Okay, hopefully you can hear me because the wind is blowing. But this is the 1/4 inch that we added. You can see down there, well, hopefully you can see down there, but anyway, it's about 3.5 inches higher. That looks like a slope that water would run off more to me. So that's what we're gonna go with. 1/4 inch plywood. Eesh. This is old plywood too, so it's kind of trying to peel. That sucks. Little tiny short screws. They're left over from some of the hardware. Anyway, these are all those little bails from the drop down latches. So that's why I have extras. One more. Okay. Technically, I guess I could have put the big old thicky one in there, but we'll switch out the bits and put one of these bigger bite screws down here low. About right there. Anyway, that kind of sucks that peeled out, but let's see. Wondering if I can thinking about taking the screw out, putting some glue in there, and then getting a clamp and clamping it down. Then I'll put the screw back in later. Let the glue kind of tack up a little bit while I go get the clamp, and I'll be right back. Alright, we'll let that sit. I'm going to clean my tools up because I think I'm going to grab the lid part on this after a bit. I'm going to go in and get something to drink. I need some water. Getting hot. Anyway, I think we're going to call that it for today. I may come back out later. If I do, I'll film it. And if I don't, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys coming along and watching our videos. Eventually, it will help us out. If you would like and subscribe, it's free. Helps us grow our channel, and someday, maybe that'll mean something. If not, until then, hope you learned something. God bless. See you later.